Next on Cable 8 News.
Chautauqua County is about to go tax-free. Jim Beebe reports on the tax break that takes effect tomorrow. And area students learn how reading plays a role in today's careers. Wendy Johnson has that story.
Now, Elizabeth Carey, Jeff Russo, James Reed, with reports from Wendy Johnson, Jim Beebe, and Tom Camillo. Chautauqua County's only local source for news, weather, and sports. Cable 8 News starts now.
Good evening, and thanks for watching TimeWarner Cable 8 News at 7. I'm Elizabeth Carey. Jury selection in the trial against John Mancuso was supposed to begin today. But as we told you last night, the Fredonia man has entered a guilty plea. Yesterday, Mancuso admitted to killing his girlfriend, Angela Clutter, and her 2-year-old son, Jimmy. According to local police, the 1998 double homicide was one of the most disturbing in the area's history. District Attorney James Subjack says he's happy to close the case with the guilty plea.
This case probably would have cost the taxpayers of Chautauqua County a minimum of $100,000 before it was done. We'll save a lot of pain, a lot of grief, a lot of anguish to their families. That's the families of the victims, Angie and Jimmy. There would have been some graphic testimony, there would have been some very negative testimony, and this prevents all of that as well.
Mancuso faces 35 years in prison. He'll be sentenced in April. In business news, get ready to go shopping. As TimeWarner Cable 8's Jim Beebe now reports, beginning tomorrow, you'll be able to save money on some clothing and footwear purchases.
Tomorrow begins a new chapter in local shopping history. After 29 years of efforts by the county legislature, Chautauqua County officially drops its sales tax on some clothing and footwear purchases. Since the state is making the same move, local shoppers won't have to pay any sales tax on clothing and shoes priced up to $110.
We've experienced since the late 60s when sales tax came in a major reduction in the amount of retailers in clothing here and in footwear in this county. It's a way for us to level the playing field so that they can come back in and can compete with our border merchants in Pennsylvania.
Today, Thomas joined County Legislature Chairperson Jane Fagerstrom at Landers Clothing Store in Jamestown. It was 1971 when the push to eliminate the local sales tax on clothing first began. Now, 29 years later, more than 5,000 signatures were collected countywide from supporters of the tax cut.
I think without that initiative, I think without that, the facts and bringing to the legislative floor those petitions with all of the public so interested in elimination of the sales tax, we may not have been as successful as we were in convincing all of the legislators that this was going to be profitable.
Chautauqua County is one of just 14 counties statewide to drop the local sales tax, and it's the only county in western New York. Local merchants are hoping that will mean better business for them.
Oh, it sure won't hurt and stuff, Nan. It gives us the advantage and stuff, Nan, that we're always looking for in retailing, Nan.
I think maybe it's going to be good for Jamestown, and hopefully the people come downtown and shop.
Jim Beebe, TimeWarner, Cable 8 News.
And as Jim said, Chautauqua County is the only county in western New York to eliminate the sales tax on clothing and footwear purchases up to $110. That means if you travel to stores in the Buffalo area, you will still have to pay local sales tax on the same purchases. In other news, Jamestown City Comptroller is saying farewell for a position in the private sector. Joe Bolito has been with the city for more than 9 years. He says the biggest financial challenge facing the city is meeting budget. This year, Jamestown must stay within a $22 million spending plan.
It's a tough thing to try to not raise taxes in times of increasing costs and stagnant revenues and a decreasing tax base. That's the city's biggest challenge, is to increase the taxable base of our town.
Bolito says the lack of state funding also makes it difficult to meet budget demands. He will remain on as a consultant with the city to ensure a smooth transition and has accepted a full-time job with McFadden dealerships. Tomorrow is the deadline to file for this. Joe Bolito has been with the city for more than 9 years. He says the biggest financial challenge facing the city is meeting budget. This year, Jamestown must stay within a $22 million spending plan.
It's a tough thing to try to not raise taxes in in times of increasing costs and stagnant revenues and a decreasing tax base. That's the city's biggest challenge, is to increase the taxable base of our town.
And Bolito says the lack of state funding also makes it difficult to meet budget demands. He will remain on as a consultant with the city to ensure a smooth transition and has accepted a full-time job with McFadden Dealerships. Tomorrow is the deadline to file for the Star Tax Relief Program. The Jamestown tax assessor says there will be no applications accepted after 5 p.m. tomorrow. They were concerned about the lack of residents over age 65 applying this year. However, only about 50 of those homeowners haven't reapplied as of yet. New housing applicants
to the Class B finals for the 5th straight year. We talked to them today and we'll share that. Plus, the Panama Panthers and Portville squad squaring off in Class C2 semifinal action. We'll give you scores and highlights coming up next in sports. Welcome back. Lauren Smith and the number 4 seeded Panama Panthers came from 10 points behind on Friday night to overturn the Frewsburg Bears by 10 points in overtime of the Class C2 quarterfinals. The Panthers were hoping to continue their playoff run this evening, but standing in their way was the number 1 seeded Portville Panthers. The JCC we go. Panthers with the Panthers. Rough night for the Panama seniors. Second quarter. Portville showing their strength. Brian Blast pulling up, blasting a 3 home. And that would be the case all night long. Then Mike John takes the ball, a couple fakes, a little turnaround, and tough-looking shot gets it to go. But Panama would try to hang around. Mike Brown, top of the key, knocks the turnaround. Jay down 15 points for Brown tonight. Portville too strong, though. Jeff McMahon to Bill Torrey. Inside, he's a big guy. He was scoring big all night. Then on the break, Casey King to McMahon. Gets the one-hander to the go, the hoop and the harm. Down by 23 at halftime, but Panama trying to come back. Brown down low, baseline, gets the jumper to go, but Portville too tough on the night. Mike John in the corner, you betcha, and you bet that Portville rolled in this one. 67-48, Mike Brown, 15 points. Matt Lundgren, 12 points, as the Panthers end their season at 11-11. Afterwards, the Panthers spoke about the loss.
Even if we had known that those kids could shoot like that, I'm not sure we could have defended all of them and still stopped their inside game. Just pick your poison type of night. Too many weapons and not enough of us to defend them, I'm afraid.
We had a good game plan coming in, but they just executed better than us. They're hitting more shots than us. We couldn't find it on the offensive end, and I don't know. We had a good season, but I wish it would have ended a little differently, but...
Well, with their 53-44 win over Newfane last night, the Southwestern Trojans will once again head to the Class B2 finals this Saturday afternoon against the number 1